The Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience presented by DraftKings. It's time, folks. The Challenge 36 Fantasy League. Double Agents premieres December 9th or whatever the second Wednesday is in December. Whatever day that is, we're running the fantasy game again. You want to play in the free fantasy game for the challenge? Hit the description of the video and podcast, or podcast, should I say, and sign up. It's free to play. You have 6 picks in your draft. You have a salary cap of $1,000. Each player has a salary next to it. You can pick 5 guys and 1 girl. You can pick 6 women if you want to. It doesn't matter how you construct your team as long as your salary cap is below $1,000 for each of your 6 players. You fill it out once at the beginning of the year. That's it. And then you let it ride all the way through. For the love of God, do not look at spoilers. This is a spoiler-free show. We don't want anything ruined by this because you can go look up spoilers if you want. I don't want to hear about them. It's my favorite thing that I get to watch outside of sports in real time, and it can be spoiled for me. Please do not spoil it for me. I will find a way to cyberbully you if it comes down to that, if you ruin this for me. My wife and I enjoy watching it. It's what we do on Wednesday nights, all right? I don't live an exciting life anymore. This is all I got. So please, let me enjoy the challenge. Let me enjoy the fantasy game. I believe it's 250 or 300 people for league number 1. Once that fills, we'll restart another one of the leagues because they tend to fill pretty often. Please share the show around, post it on Reddit, share it on social media. Let's get as many people in this as possible. The scoring, you can go look that up on the site, but generally, the best thing you can do is win the season. But periodically, confessionals, hooking up, throwing a fit, yelling, crying, having sex, getting kicked off the show, all the fun parts of reality TV, that scores beaucoup points going forward. So you have to think about that, too, when you're making your picks. Also, of your 6 players, you get to designate 1 as your captain, and that is going to be worth, I believe it's 10% more points, 20% more points, whatever it is. It's just additional bonus points. 10% additional bonus points for each episode in terms of scoring. So those are the rules. Pick wisely. Like I said, tell some friends, share it around, and smash the like button for this episode and tell me your single favorite challenger of all time. Is it, I don't know, Montana from the Gauntlet 2? Maybe, probably not. But it could be anyone. It could be someone from the Battle of the Seasons, Battle of the Sexes, Battle of the Seasons 2 from last season. If you're new to the challenge, it doesn't really matter. So once again, smash a like, tell me your favorite challenger in the description. Those are the rules. You can find the link in the description as well. Highly recommend that everyone check out the Pat Mayo Experience. But throughout the course of the season, we will be doing recaps. I will not be doing recaps for the show. The good folks at the Challenge Chronicles, which is going to be a recap show for each of the episodes. Plus, they've been doing a rewatch of all of the old seasons. They're just through the island as of this recording right now. And one of the members of that podcast, which will be airing on Mayo Media Network this year, so not weekly recaps from me anymore. I'll step in from time to time, I'm sure, but they're going to be ones doing it. I suggest you go check out their back catalogs on Apple, Spotify, wherever. Rob McIntyre is on the line from the Challenge Chronicles and the guy who does the fantasy scoring for this. You cheating again this year?
That has never been the case. I don't know exactly where you're getting this information from, but I am beyond fired up for this season, so I'm ready to go.
After one pretty mediocre season 2 seasons ago and just a travesty last year, despite an optimal outcome for me and my fantasy team with Johnny Bananas, last season sucked, man. It was bad.
Oh, it was the first half was like inconsistent. The second half was such a mess. Season beforehand, I thought the first half was actually really good, but then the second half again kind of tailed off. So we've kind of been in a mojo where the first half's a lot better than the second half lately. But we've also been in a thing too where like I really like Dirty 30, and then I didn't like Vendettas or Final Reckoning as much. And then again, I loved War of the Worlds 1. I thought that was one of the best seasons ever. And then the 2 seasons after that, I thought were a little bit down. So it looks like we're on the upswing here.
Also on the line, because we're doing a draft today. We're going to go through each of the players and draft our own teams. Not necessarily for the league, because you can pick whoever you want in the league, as long as you're below the salary cap. Once someone is picked in our draft, you can no longer take said person. Paul Shanghnessy, who does the recap show with me normally, is behind the camera. He's also drafting as well. But also joining me on the line, Tony Niehaus. I got to ask you, are you a proponent, because this is why I hated last season. It was dark. It was in a bunker. It wasn't fun. I want my challengers to be in the sun. I want them to be drinking. I want them to be having fun. That's my favorite part of the challenge. People having fun. Do you think it's a bit too serious?
No, I mean, first of all, I agree with you. They need to have some fun. I think this season, though, should be better just because they're not going to be able to like go out like crazy. So they should theoretically be giving them more alcohol. They're not in a bunker, like you said. Where's it at, anyways? Iceland or something?
It's in Iceland, yeah.
It looks like Iceland. As someone who's been to Iceland, it looks like Iceland.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it because I think they know last season was a disaster too, which means they're probably going to amp up some stuff this season. And I like all the drama like everyone else.
So we're going to do our draft and go through everything. And there's going to be players that are left on the table. Tony, you're like officially the Big Brother expert on this because I don't think any of the rest of us watch Big Brother.
How do none of you guys watch Big Brother?
Big Brother sucks.
I do some challenge scouting from Big Brother, but I don't watch it. I like
the challenge. Obviously, likes Big Brother because they keep taking all
they
the
keep bringing them on.
And Bananas is like ready to marry friggin' Morgan now, right? Like they're like arm in arm.
Yeah, they're tight. He's too busy with Morgan in First Look, so he's not on this season.
Yeah, when was the last time Bananas wasn't on a season? Battle of the Seasons?
Yeah, Battle of the Season 2012. There was an issue with the rest of his Key West cast, so he wasn't on that one. But since then, he's been on every single one. He was also not on the third Champs versus season.
So you guys don't think he retired after the win? He was acting like
no. I think it's First Look hosting responsibilities probably that got in the way for this one. And he might have just wanted to take one off. I mean, with everything going on in the world and with his life right now, he just wanted to take a break to chill with Morgan.
So here's what we know. Here's what we know about the season. It's going to be a pair season, one guy and one girl on a team. And they're going to be in teams initially, but we do not know if that's going to stick for the entire season. We saw this on War of the Worlds 1 where there was pairs and all of a sudden it was an individual game. So the teams could switch up. They could go to individuals. They could form teams of 4. So Rob, can you explain what you have done so far by looking at spoilers probably?
God, what MTV is wont to do, they always like to make my life exceptionally difficult. So it is a paired season. We know that. I hadn't heard anything about, I don't know, it is a paired season. But due to some issues we've had in past seasons, after talking with some of the great other people at Fantasizer.com, they had me look up just the initial pairs beforehand because we had an issue on War of the Worlds 1 where we didn't know them beforehand. So we tried to release it after the first episode and it was just very chaotic and our numbers were a little bit down. So, so what we did for this one is I just looked up who is paired with whom initially. But again, so we'll know that and we'll discuss that. But then beyond that, it could be very fluid. These could be like, we could have like 4 pairs switch up, or we could have everybody like throw their hands in whatever color you get is your new pair after episode 4. We have no idea.
Yeah, so you do not draft teams, you draft individuals. So that is what matters as it pertains to fantasy scoring. So we're doing the draft. I did a random generator for the draft order. It's going to be in snaking fashion. Tony has the first pick. I have the second pick. Paul has the third pick. Hello, Paul. Welcome to the show.
Hey, guys.
Rob has the fourth pick, so he'll pick at the turn at the end of the first round, snaking back. Then Tony will get the turn picks going through. So, Tony, you are officially on the clock. So you can say your player and the salary, and we'll keep track of it as we go along. We cannot go over $1,000 here as it comes to the draft. So you can't just take anyone you want. You need to stay within the salary cap. And for the rules of our show and our competition, you can't take the same player twice. You can, obviously, in the actual fantasy game, but in this, you cannot. Tony, the floor is yours. Who are you taking?
Oh, real quickly, is this first pick our captain or no?
Yeah, yeah, sure. First pick's your captain.
Okay.
The first pick's the captain, too? Man, I'm so torn about CT and Wes. I know I want to take one of them. So, I mean, are we allowed to talk about the partners, who we think they are on this sheet?
Sure.
Yeah, so CT looks like with Ashley, and Wes looks like with who?
So that's Natalie Anderson of Survivor Lore.
That's enough. I like Survivor, too, like Big Brother. So she was a beast in the last Survivor season. I guess, I mean, you guys were making fun of me getting in my head before the show about CT. I like CT the best, but you guys are telling me the scoring. I'm nervous about him. I got to go with I can't let you guys talk me off my island. I like CTs with Ashley. Maybe I can come back and get Ashley. I'll go with my boy CT. I like him. I want to feel good about my captain pick.
That's the whole thing about this, too, is that you need to... I actually love this pick. I was thinking about taking C. I was hoping CT would fall back to me in the second round.
You were playing mind games with me.
I was. I think that without Johnny Bananas this season, that's been the biggest problem as we talked about the screen time, Rob's right that CT's screen time has been way down. He doesn't hook up anymore. He doesn't fight anymore. But without Bananas on this season, I think they're going to lean on him and Wes to be the main narrators. Almost like, Rob, you know how like Bananas, even if he does something in an episode or not, you still get like 15 confessionals from him? That's going to be CT this year as long as he's on the show.
I don't know. Because like even War of the Worlds 2, which is what I keep going back to. So Johnny and Wes, they're both out early, even like Laurel's out early. And he wins the season and he like doesn't do anything. Like he was like 16th in scoring that season and he won. And then all these others, like I don't think he's won an elimination since Invasion. And then he's not the type of fantasy pick I would make. He could turn out. I mean, this guy's cast is a little bit less intimidating than the past 2 seasons. I think this is much more of a female cast in terms of where the power lies. So he could even win. But even if he wins, I don't think he's worthy of a first round investment.
So for my pick in this spot, I think I have the number 1 overall pick. So I'm glad I have the second pick here, so I can definitely get her on my team. With a bullet, the single best fantasy player on this season, the person who should win this season. Paul, I'm sorry I'm doing this to you. I'm taking Lolo Jones.
You motherfucker. I actually had her.
I hate her as a pick.
Are you serious?
One person I put as a fade.
What?
She was on that. What show was she on? She
was on Champs Versus as well as Celebrity Big Brother.
And she was awesome. All she did was fight with everyone, and no one could beat her.
She's such a softie though. Like she gets so upset about everything. She's literally the one person I got on my sheet. Do not pick. I have on the thing.
Wow. I started writing in that pick as soon as you started talking. Honestly, I knew where you were going. I think she could be bad chalk.
She's a multiple-time Olympian, you psychopaths.
But she's weak though. She gets so.
I think there's a lot more to just like an athlete.
Yeah, but she is like all of the things that she does that are like quote unquote weak, like score points. I'm tilted. I actually brought it up. I was going to read through all of her, different championships and stuff like that.
Yeah, who wants? Do we know if it's like last season, Rob? Do we know if it's going to be like a Red Skull? You have to go into elimination. And
there's reports the Skulls are back. I hated the Skulls last season. I thought they were so poorly done. It made every episode so predictable. The missions didn't matter. Even a lot of the stuff in the house felt like it had a lot less equity. So hopefully, if they are going to bring it back, they switch it up a little bit this time, but I do think they are back. TJ in the trailer mentioned something about like there being 10 skulls. So I think they're back, but hopefully in an edited capacity.
Well, I mean, Lolo could get boxed out of this situation because no one will want to go against. Who the hell wants to go against Lolo Jones?
I remember why I didn't like her, though. It just hit me when I was looking up her thing after you said it. She was on Celebrity Big Brother, and I just didn't like her on that show.
Does she seem like someone who will score a lot of drama points, though?
Yeah, because she just gets so upset about everything.
Exactly.
I could see Lolo having like the Laurel War of the Worlds 2 situation where she comes in really overconfident and is like blowing up everything and then kind of like overplans and overplays her hand and then is an explosive but an early boot.
I just don't like unless she quits. I don't see who eliminates her.
I could see her quitting too.
Unless it's some sort of Sudoku.
What if it's like
things just happen, dude.
She's not
like she lost she didn't win Champs Versus. She lost in that eating competition.
Okay,
like,
so if it's a puzzle or an eating competition, Lolo's not doing all too well. She's a summer and winter Olympian.
But there's a lot of these things that just have strategy as at least a facet. Like look at what Jay beat CT in last year. There's athleticism involved, but there's also other stuff involved. What if she's bad at the other stuff?
I wouldn't say that she is. I'll put it this way. There's only so many things that you can know going into this. And you know that there's going to be physical eliminations. You don't know what the other stuff is. And I can't envision one physical elimination where anyone in this house has a chance against her.
I don't think she's even good in physical ones is the funny thing about how I look at her.
That's a bad take.
If they get in the where they run at each other straight into them, there's plenty of strong girls that'll go right through her.
No,
I mean that's a soft 3-0 though. She won. There was one she did. She was amazing in that first one. She did. Yeah, but Ashley's not the best in eliminations. And the second one, the other girl didn't try.
You're telling me Cam wouldn't go right through her? Cam would destroy her.
She's bigger than Cam. Lolo's like 5'8", 150, and she's an Olympic athlete.
She's taller than 5'8". I think she's taller than 5'8".
She's huge.
I mean, look, I think she's an amazing athlete. She's like the best athlete on the cast, but there's just a lot more that goes into this than just being an athlete.
I somewhat agree with you on that, but I'm just hoping to die. And people are going to be fucking terrified of her.
I agree
I think
with
she's
that.
bad
Like, if it's
shock.
the
I
right
think she's going to be
challenge-
like 45% owned, and then she's going to be out like by episode 5.
I'm like stunned that she's the chalk, and I literally have her as the only person I wanted to fade for sure.
Well, I mean, that goes part and parcel with your DFS strategy normally, doesn't it, Tony?
It's true too. It's bad how my mind works with it.
I think she's like Damian Williams 2 years ago, where like there's one person in every draft that's going to pick him in the first or second round, but like everybody else is like, dude, I'm not taking him till the 6th or something. Like, I'll wait.
Yeah, no. I think if you want Lolo Jones, you go get Lolo Jones, and she's going to be awesome. She's my team captain, $170. She's on the squad. Paul, you're up. It's your pick.
Well, based on how this is all going through right now, I can't have Tony getting CT's partner on the backdrop here and just going through like the record of Smashley. Rivals 3 doesn't really do very much. On Invasion of Champions, she wins that. XXX Dirty 30, she doesn't do very much. What wins the next season? It's always back and forth. So she didn't do much at Total Madness. She needs money. She spent money on, plastic surgery and all that other stuff, whatever makes her happy. Ashley, CT's partner, bit of a psychopath. Hopefully they can politic, keep her out of the way of Lolo, because I think Lolo's a big problem for her. Again, if they get in there, but give me Smashley as my team captain.
I like it.
All right, I'm taking Wes before Paul changes his mind.
Wes is dust.
Yeah, Wes
Oh,
is
dude,
Wes is Wes
no
is
way.
Wes is pretty dusty at this point.
The
That
guy
is such a you wanted CT and you're calling Wes Dusty? CT's
Dude,
like 40.
Paul, put up the picture of CT.
Sorry, you guys.
Yeah, we're all over the place. Look at that fucking
It's
jaw.
such
a lot on the go
facial
here.
shot.
Rob, look
Oh,
at
dude, they could be editing that photo to make
Rob,
him look better.
look-
That is no bearing on anything.
Look at that jawline.
Now-
CT hasn't had that jawline since he was peak CT. If he is in shape, it's almost like Lolo on the other side. Besides Fessy, I don't know who's going up against this guy.
And
Who
then-
would want to go up against
And
him.
then look at Wes's jawline. Fat guys like me know that we grow out the beard because we're hiding something.
I got the beard right now to hide. Just like him.
We know what's going on.
I mean,
with
Wes
that.
had an incredible year
versus
on
that.
World of Worlds 1. He was also very good last season and had that janky elimination against Johnny.
That was the worst decision ever, though. What was
Oh,
he
see, I
doing?
disagree so much with that. Johnny had been such trash in eliminations leading up to that point, and he's always a dynamite in finals. Like, he was 1-10 in his last eliminations leading up to that, and he always wins when he gets to the final. So I'd rather go up against him in elimination. I thought that was a good move.
You
and he
thought
actually
that
gave
was,
a
they
pretty
were working together, though. They were going to go to the end.
Well, yeah, but they were at the end. Would you rather go against Johnny in a final or an elimination? I would much rather go against him in an elimination.
But there was plenty of time. It clearly was. There were still like 14 people left or something. It wasn't the final.
Well, so Wes actually gave a really good explanation of this too on an interview he did, where the way the schedule was going, everyone thought that there was only going to be one elimination left, and there was going to be a hall brawl. And if you look at the cast at that point, if he goes up against most of them in a hall brawl, he probably loses.
Yeah.
But going in there against Johnny, I just think Johnny's one real big thing is he's just bad in eliminations. That's his big weak point. He was 1-10 in his last 11 eliminations leading up to that point. So I don't see why, as Wes, who was the all-time leader in elimination wins, why you wouldn't want to go up against him in an elimination versus going up against
Look how
him.
much money he's won, Rob, versus my girl, Ashley. $1 million.
She stole the money from poor Hunter, and that really bumped up her numbers.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is
I mean,
Hunter ever
she's
gonna come
willing.
back?
She's willing to go
I
that.
thought he was going to come back
down
this
that
season.
path.
I love Hunter, so I want him to come back. The thing with Wes, too, Wes's per episode output is insane.
Yeah,
Every
but like
episode-
D and all of those other people aren't on this season. Like his whole entire, like his whole list of cronies. Everyone. I mean, I looked through this cast. I don't think people like him.
Oh, see, I so disagree. I mean, he's really good friends with Devin. He and Leroy are actually on pretty good terms.
Devin's
I think.
trash.
Yeah, Devin's straight trash.
Like that's
man.
that's
This
literally.
guy's cast is also not that good.
Well,
he
they're-
and Nelson are actually really good friends.
He'd be a 4K
Corey
running
Niehaus.
back on an NFL.
Yeah, he
slate.
would be. Yeah, no, he wouldn't even be the 4K like backup who's in a great
No,
spot.
he's
He'd
a
be like
2,500 tight end.
$4,300 on DraftKings as a running back.
He's Adam Troutman, basically.
Oh, see, I don't think Devin's in that bad of a spot. I won't pick him probably. Well, we'll see what happens. But I think especially him paired with Nicole is actually a really good pairing. But we'll get there later.
Well,
yeah, I'm definitely taking.
Hold on. Did Ashley Smashley last season, true or false, set the all-time scoring record for an episode?
She did set the all-time scoring record in one episode.
Which episode was it? I don't. Was she crazy?
The
early in the season?
episode where she lost in the elimination. She like flipped out at Johnny. She flipped out at that's another thing too, and why I'm a little bit lower on Smashly. Wes has been able to put himself in a good political position every single one of the past 3 seasons, and he's been in a very good spot. And he and Smashly actually did not appear to be on the best terms following that outburst and going into this season. So I'm a little bit lower on her from that perspective too.
So Smashly for $220 is Paul's first pick and team captain. You're taking Wes at 240, Rob?
Yes, and then I will be taking. So this one's a hard one because there's 2 people I really, really like.
Well, you're not getting one of them.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I'll take Cam with my second round pick.
That's a good pick.
I think she would be my pick to win out of the girls on this season by actually a pretty decent margin.
Cam's my number one. I almost took her number one, honestly. I thought she might get back to me.
No, I think with the way this season looks too, where with the skulls and the people switching around, I think it's going to be extremely strategically oriented, and she's always been very good at that. And she's just one of those people who I think is very good at just putting herself in a spot to win. And this is a very good female cast. This is one of the War of the World's 2 female cast is also exceptionally good, but this is a really good female cast. But I would have her as my pick to win, even with Josh as her initial partner.
I hope she gets in a challenge against Lolo and just destroys her too after we had this conversation.
Yeah, we might need to make a Cam versus Lolo bet or something here.
Yeah, I'm definitely in for that. I want Cam over Lolo, definitely.
In terms of,
I don't know about, I mean, if they get in a challenge, I might even bet it. I hope if they get in a challenge one week that we can bet it.
All right, you know what? If it comes down to that and it's Lolo versus Cam and we somehow figure that out ahead of time, like it's a cliffhanger, I will put all of the money on Lolo.
I'll bet.
Unless it's,
I will take that. I will take that action.
You guys both like Lolo in that?
Unless it's like a crossword puzzle.
I think if it's a physical one, she'll win.
I mean,
I don't think she'll win like some of the like ones where speed matters and she has to
that's a good call.
But a physical one, like even like where they have the bar and stuff, I think she'd win.
Well, like a lot of these eliminations are physical, but there's also a strategic element to them. Like the one like Jay beat CT in last season. Like I think Cam beats Lolo in that. I think she just has much more experience with working with that type of stuff.
I just don't think Lolo is sharp with strategy. I just don't believe in her.
I got belief. I got belief in Lolo that she's going to cry and explode and fight at people, and then no one's going to want to face her because she's just a beast.
I do agree with you there, though. I think you're going to get a ton of points for like crying and stuff.
I think Cam is just going to like throw Lolo in the first 5 episodes, and then she'll be out of here at some point.
Well, that's the biggest thing with Cam. Is Cam the smartest person on the show?
I think Smashly is also exceptionally intelligent. Her, Smashly, and Wes, I think, would be the top 3.
Yeah, that's probably true. It's not Josh.
No, it's
it
not.
is definitely not Josh.
That's the thing too. Is I think she's smart enough to know with Josh as her initial partner, she'll like work it out where she can launch Josh and then like have Darrell as her partner or something.
Yeah, well, and
that's who Cam's with, Josh.
Yeah, it's Cam and Josh.
Oh,
buyer's remorse immediately.
I don't know about that as much anymore.
Well, I think that just looking at the teams right now, Cam is with Josh and Fessy is with Anissa. That if somehow
Fessy's with Anissa.
Fessy's with Anissa?
Yeah, that's not great. But if somehow Cam can get together with Fessy and merge a team, they're probably going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my thing too. Like her and Fessy will have some deal on the side. We're like, all right, we'll get Anissa in elimination this week, and then we'll get Josh in next week, and then we'll be able to link up.
I guess I should be
How
looking
did
at
the
these
teams
teams
get together. We don't know. Is it just random?
I don't know how the pairs get formed.
Okay, so Paul, you're up next. So you have Smashly as your team captain. You need an additional piece right now.
Smashly as my team captain. I mean, then we got to get real thin on the backside.
You hit up Tony for some Big Brother sleepers.
Well,
don't take my Big Brother people. I'm coming for them.
Can you throw up the 10 board? We can see who the top price people are.
Sorry, I got a lot on the.
Yeah, you're switching the show, and you're doing.
Paul's got a lot on the go here.
I'm trying to pull up these damn teams at this point. I was thinking about Fessy, but I am not tying the knot with Anissa.
Oh, I sent you the Google Doc with it in it. Did you get it?
Dude, I have like 37 windows and like 75 graphics in front of my face right now. The Google Doc.
You want me to share my screen and you can see it?
It's not applicable to you sharing your screen. Paul can open the screen. It's just he has all of the switching and graphic capability.
Yeah. We'll get there.
You can just ask me, Paul. I'll tell you who's on each team.
I pulled it up here. All right, we got Smashley.
So the highest priced players
Amber
available:
B,
Darrell 220, Tori 190, Leroy 190, Nelson, Nicole, and Casey 180. Casey would be such an awesome pick if she did anything ever.
Never is going to do anything.
Okay.
But she was even in like fights with Nani and stuff last season and still like could not find her way on screen.
She's so boring.
Yeah.
I guess I'm pushed against the clock here. Oh God. Whew, these teams are awful.
I mean,
You're always just like, oh, I like this person, but their teammate's a total dud. Except for a couple
again,
of
we
the
don't know
teams.
if they're staying with these people.
No,
or
I
not.
know.
Like, don't forget, like Turbo was with Nani.
Yeah. We will go.
Oh, good
He's
lord!
got a
just pick
baby
someone.
now. I can't go with that.
Just
Brad.
pick someone.
I will go with somebody's calling me.
No, that's an Amber Alert. I just got
wow.
it too.
Amber Alert.
There is no danger to my safety or health. If this was an actual emergency, you would now hear instructions for protecting yourself.
Oh, this is a sick pick, but I guess we will go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Fessy. That's the
Fessy.
guy I actually want. Hopefully, he gets off of that team with Anissa. Like that's the guy for me. Sorry, I took so long.
That took like 3 minutes to make a pick.
I forgot that I was on the clock now because we got sidetracked on Rob's picks for about like 5 minutes there.
That's true. So, Tony, you're big on Fessy.
I thought for sure I was getting him.
So I don't know if maybe it's just a 1 year aberration, but he was horrendous in that final.
I think that a lot of that was just editing. That final was so weird.
Oh, you're just like Trump, Rob. Oh yeah, no, it's just fake news. Don't worry about it. Come on,
Well,
he
but
looked terrible.
So bad though.
He was edited, and the thing was edited like crazy. He was also doing very good the first day, and the second day they I can't handle those types of finals where they have the entire winner of the season come down to like one 15-minute segment. It's horrific.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to want to go. Besides, like, Fessy and CT kind of stand out as, like, the physical presence on this season, though, Tony. That's the one thing.
I think there's one more, too, who's a pretty
I wanted
dominant.
Fessy so bad.
Well, you're not getting him. Now you have to trade with Paul.
Now you can trade with Paul.
All right, so it's my pick. What do we think, Rob? Do we think Kyle can go all the way after coming second last year? My favorite guy on the challenge?
I don't. He didn't do anything last year either. He was like, not on screen at all.
Well, that's because apparently he was hooking up with Melissa the entire time, and they cut it out, right?
Oh, yeah, we don't need to get into that whole thing either.
Why did they not show it?
Why wouldn't they show that?
I don't know.
There's a lot of rumors that I don't have full, like, I don't even know what the rumor is really, so I don't know. But yeah, he just had trouble finding storylines without Cara and Paulie around.
Oh, poor guy. All right, so that's a great team, Nani and Kyle. That's pretty good.
Great. I mean,
So I'm looking at Darrell, Casey, and I need to. I mean, if I'm picking Lolo to win, because obviously that's my pick. That if I'm going to the top, should I try to pick the guys winner, or should I go for points here? I guess is my decision. Teresa's back on this season too. Do you think like
love Teresa? Yeah, she's back.
I mean, Teresa already almost beat CT in a game of 1-on-1 back on whatever the hell that was, free agents, I think. Great athlete, and now married to an ex-NFLer. So could be good training here for Teresa. Don't like her partner.
Yeah, Teresa Jones now from TJ Jones.
I'm going to take with my pick. Can't believe I'm doing this. I'm taking Nani at $140.
Ooh.
Wow.
I'm not playing to win.
Fish
If I'm picking Lolo to win, I am now picking the girl who could hook up with guys, who could hook up with girls, and is going to get a ton of screen time as long as she sticks around.
I mean, she's been able to like hang around these past few seasons, so I don't think that's a disaster. She would, even if I was bargain bin hunting, I don't know if I would have gone Nani though.
Oh well, I'm sorry, my picks aren't approved by Rob.
Oh.
How dare you? Nani's going to be a great pick. Maybe the highest score. How did she do last year in terms of scoring?
She didn't do great last year.
Really?
Where she had to finish these.
She had a few fights here and there, but she like, I don't know how representative the scoring from last season is carrying forward, just because the second half was so bizarre. And even the missions last season weren't like the way they were structured was really inconsistent, and they weren't really rewarding like the best competitors. Rather than a lot of people weren't like trying admissions. I don't know. I don't know how much to take from last season, but yeah, she wasn't super highly scoring last season either.
All right, Tony, back-to-back picks for you.
So the first pick's easy. When you started talking about Kyle, I was hoping you didn't pick him because I definitely wanted Kyle. He's due to win. He might be the winner. He might honestly be my pick. He's been getting closer and closer. He's better with the politicking lately. I don't know. I like Kyle, and he's got the drama. Like you said, he always gets mixed up a little bit with some stuff. So I'll take Kyle for sure with my first one. And then the second one is definitely a little harder. I just don't like Darrell. I don't know. Like, I don't think he's going to go that far.
Oh, I love Darrell.
I mean, Darrell might be the best athlete on this show, besides Logan.
Darrell might be like, I would have him as like the second or third most well-rounded competitor, I think, ever. Like, he is just, there's just not many holes with Darrell.
Is he not dusty, though? He's a little older, right?
I mean,
He's still in killer shape.
I checked him out on Instagram. The guy is fucking shredded.
If you don't take Darrell, Pat's going to, because he's the only one with like salary that'll fit Darrell at this point.
Yeah, I can wait on Darrell at this point too, because no one else can afford him.
So we get 1,000. Let me make sure I don't like. So I'm already at 410.
Yeah,
I like some cheapies though, so I can. So let me ask you guys this: you guys got all the news. Is Leroy and Cam like together?
They're moving in together, actually. They're moving to Houston and moving together.
Because Leroy's not going to win, but if Cam can drag him along and they can have some time alone, I mean, he might be able to get some. Man, Leroy might be. You guys might make fun of me if I pick Lee. I'll take Lee. I'll take him. I mean, is it a terrible pick? Oh my God,
no! I desperately wanted Leroy.
It's not a bad pick.
Yo, I don't think it's a bad pick at all. Between him and West, it'd be close, but I think he has a very good chance to win this season, actually.
You think he could win the whole thing?
I think
Guy's cast is not good.
And not having bananas on this season, I think, really helps Leroy.
No, he was way better on War of the Worlds 2 when Johnny was gone. And it seems like when Johnny's not around, he actually is able to hang a little bit better. So I think he's in a very, very good spot this season. I think
with Cam has to help him, right? Like, it has to.
Yeah, and he's with Casey at the beginning too, and like Casey might not be on TV much, but she's pretty good in missions and stuff. So I think Leroy's in an exceptional spot.
I think Casey would beat Lolo too, for the record.
I think that's a more competitive. I think that Casey's a better athlete than Cam is. I think Cam is just a
Casey's the best athlete, I think, right? Like,
Lolo Jones from the Olympics is the best athlete.
I'm not. Yeah, if she's going to run a race, but if she's going to go across the middle and catch a football or something, like, I'm going to take Casey.
Dude, she was what? Paul, you have the list of Lolo accomplishments. She was also in a Winter Olympics bobsledder too. So she's
like all those random things. I don't care about all those things.
See Paulie is now trying to qualify for the bobsled team.
Good for him. He's like 3 feet tall.
She won the gold. She won the gold.
He's huge too. He's like Hunter size.
She won the gold medal in 2008 in 60-meter hurdles at the World Indoor Championships, World Athletics Final, 100-meter hurdles, Continental Cup, 100-meter hurdles, won silver there, World Championships, gold medal at St. Moritz in 2013. That was the bobsledding gold medal, yeah. So, we're talking about somebody who on a world stage has won gold medals.
Versus Casey, who couldn't beat Jenny in running in a snow competition.
Yeah, running.
Dude, that final was so weird.
Yeah.
All right, so it's my pick. So far I have Lolo and I have Nani. It's probably time to beef up my team a little bit. The same guy that I take every single year, Rob. I'm going with my main man, Corey, who's destined to have storylines because MTV wants him to be a star so badly that maybe this is, in a weak male cast, maybe this is finally Corey's time to win. I'm going with Corey at 170.
He was very good last season, too. Like, he was winning a lot of missions last season, so I think that's not a bad pick.
And they only give him a likable cut, too, which might hurt my overall fantasy points when he starts, cheating on his 2 wives or whatever it is, but they might not show that.
Well, maybe he and Nelson will fight a few more times this season.
I probably have to pair them up, Corey and Nelson. We'll see if Nelson makes it back to me. Paul, your pick.
On the clock here, we will go. Sorry.
You can put up the players.
Then
you can look at it.
It's really hard.
I can see that.
It's hard switching this at the same time. And trying to keep track of who's been drafted. I'll just pick anybody because I'm gonna take Natalie A. Because it's Wes's partner, and Rob is gonna be super, super steamed that I just made that pick on him.
No, I think she's a very good pick. I don't think she's like a lock though.
Didn't she win Survivor?
Yeah, she won her first season of Survivor, and then she was back on Winners at War.
She looks jacked.
And then she was actually the first voted out. But then they had like one of those battle back edge of extinction things, and she was able to work her way back the second time through and actually ended up making the final.
I don't think I've seen Survivor since season 2 of Survivor when like Colby, whatever the hell that guy's name was, made it to the finals against that old lady and lost. So that's about the extent of my Survivor. That
I believe you don't. You like all the same shows as me. I can't believe you don't like Survivor and Big Brother.
It's a big time. Like the challenge is pretty easy to digest. It's once a week. It's an hour.
Survivor is too.
Yeah, but then I have to watch that. Like challenges on twice a year. Like I have to pick my poison. I'm a very busy man, Tony.
I mean, I hear you.
Like Big Brother is a big ask. It's like 3 times.
Big Brother's
a week,
a much bigger commitment.
Like that's a lot. Like I had to give up watching The Bachelor and doing those recaps because they were like 3-hour-long episodes twice a week.
So
like,
long.
Like it's just like, come on, man. Like let's get to it. Too much. So Rob, you're back to back here. You got Wes and Cam already.
I really wanted Leroy, honestly, so I'm gonna be killing me over that pick. Yeah, this is a rough spot.
You guys all tried to talk me into Darrell, by the way. Darrell, like you guys. Now no one wants him after you guys tried to
Well,
sell
I can't
him.
afford him.
I'm the only one who can
Pat's
afford
pick
him.
Up. The rest of our builds right now, it's not working.
No, I just need
Darrell's gonna end up on Pat's team. Like we've made our bed. That's what's gonna happen.
I love Nelson. For me, Nelson's one of those people that just instantly brings me entertainment when he's on screen. So I kind of want to take Nelson. But I also like he's with Amber M from Are You the One at the beginning, which I think may cause a few. Like I don't know. He just seems like he could be a little bit on the outside there.
Let me ask you this: how did Tori go from being like the most sought after player last season to no one wants her this
Jordan's
season?
gone.
But maybe she's
Dude,
better.
I think she's way better without Jordan. Jordan's a problem for her. Jordan's like the worst politician in the show's history.
Yeah, Jordan's kind of like Lolo in that sense, where it doesn't matter what he does; he's just so good he wins.
I mean, I even think I think Jordan has been put in some pretty favorable positions. He's an exceptional competitor, but
Yeah,
I think
the guy who won 3 seasons in a row, he's not really good though. Rob, good analysis.
no, I think he's very good. But he was tied with Sarah the first time he won, who handled all the politics, kept him out of trouble. Second time he's with 30-30, which is just a cast of entirely vets who aren't the best in finals, but then also weren't going to target Jordan just because they were friends with him. And then the third season on War of the Worlds 2, he's constantly nuking his own game. But he's also in a position where his biggest enemies don't have an incentive to throw him in, which is like a one-time thing.
So you have Tori, Casey, and Nicole Z, who are all theoretically good at like competitions, right?
Sure. Yeah, I would say they're all pretty good.
Is there anyone on this cast for Nicole to hook up with?
I mean, Casey could go back to Nicole.
Or Nani, I guess, is in
I
play.
feel like when they're on the challenge, like I'm not surprised by any of these people, what they're up to.
So Nani, Anissa, Casey, and Nicole. Those are like the hookup tentacles that can go
Rob,
around here.
Don't listen to Pat. He's just trying to drag you onto players that he
No,
doesn't want.
I have a mind of my own, Paul. I will not be influenced by his. I'll take a stack here. I'll go with Teresa and Jay back to back.
Teresa
love
and
Jay.
Jay is garbage, man.
This one's gonna be quick for me on the follow up. I'm going with crying Josh.
Shit! Fuck you, Paul.
Yeah.
Fuck you. That was
He may
my
not
pick.
His elimination may be straight trash. His elimination record 0-3. Like the guy's horrible, but he cries every episode. He is desperate for screen time. At every opportunity, he tries to make rivalries with guys like Wes and all these other people that don't want to be his rival because they're not on the same level. But he will actively try to make a stink about everything. He scores drama points all the time. I need to save a little bit of money. Josh at 130 is the play.
Okay, so you
That
stole
was such a good pick.
you stole my pick, so I don't like that. Not only are all the things you said true about Josh, they also keep him around because he's like the layup at the end that they know either they bring him to the finals and know they can beat him, or the good people save him till the end because they know they can beat him if there's a red skull. So he's always going to be on the show. He's not going to be the first person out.
Such a good, and only 130. That's good salary.
I agree with that a little bit, Pat. I think if he's paired with Cam is not wanting to run with Josh. He might be trying to get him in elimination constantly so she can get rid of him as a partner.
Well, do
Oh,
we
you
know?
don't like the Josh pick.
But do we know if you can get rid of partners? It seems like you have some inside info here, Rob.
Yeah, what are you
Well, they
looking
said it
at
was
spoilers
good, but
again there, Rob?
There's something they can do to like manipulate what's going on.
Do the partners seriously get to put the other one in?
I don't know.
Dude, I have no idea. I just know that you can switch partners. So I would assume that Cam is going to be plotting some way that she's not running a final with Josh.
All right. So, Tony, I actually need some of your advice here because, I mean, you're the Big Brother expert. I don't know who any of these people are. Who is from is Amber B from Big Brother?
Amber B's from Big Brother. Casey. I think those are the only two left.
All right. So Casey's from last season of the challenge, though. So I'm familiar with her. So it's only Amber B from Big Brother. Is she any good?
I think so. I'm looking at the list. I don't see.
No, I don't think any. I mean, Lolo like was on Celebrity Big Brother, but I think that's it.
She's from the Olympics, Rob.
Oh, she's also was on Celebrity Big Brother.
She was also on the challenge.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, why don't we just list all of Lolo's accomplishments then?
So do we know anything about Amber B? Because I'm going to take Darrell.
She was on a season of Big Brother a while ago, and one of the dudes was like obsessed with her. You know, Caleb was never on the challenge, right? But he was on Survivor, and
He was actually reported to almost be on a season, but he didn't make it on.
he was like obsessed with this Amber. She's like, I mean, I'd call her like an athlete. Probably she's probably strong.
Let's see, Amber B Big Brother. I'm going to do the quick Google search here, see what she looks like. Oh, she's hot.
Yeah, she
look
should be a solid.
She look
get in there and get you some Big Brother love. Get in there and get her.
She like a CrossFit person. She looks like she's in great shape.
She's actually, I think she's in pretty good shape. All of her Instagram videos of her working out.
I'm going to take Amber B.
That's a strong pick. Get some Big Brother going. You guys took back-to-back Big Brother people in front of me too. That's not right. I would have taken Josh and Amber B for the record because I wanted two Big Brother people. I might have to take Casey. I don't know. Casey sucks at scoring though.
Maybe she'll just win. That's what you're banking on if you take Casey, that she wins.
Like she's gonna get 0 points though for anything else. She's gonna have to win. I need some Big Brother though. You guys took all my people. I can't pick Casey anyways. I don't have 180 to. I got like no salary. I needed Amber B. I'm mad you took her.
Well, I mean, who are Rob? Can you tell us a little bit about these other people? Like, who the fuck is Nam?
Oh, so Nam is from Ultimate Beastmaster on Netflix. He's from, I think he's from Germany actually. So he speaks fluent German, and Ultimate Beastmaster is a Netflix show. It's kind of like somewhat of an American Ninja Warrior type thing, but he was also like on like the top whatever physiques in the world or something. Like he's in very good shape. He and Lolo, I think, will be a funny pair because I could see him just like not dealing with any of what she's doing.
Oh, this guy's too shredded. That's a problem. We've seen these people on the challenge before. He's just like a guy who's in really good shape. I don't know if I want him.
1.5 like DK Metcalf % body fat.
Yeah, like he reminds me. He reminds me of that guy that Tori used to date, who was like popcorn muscles man.
Oh, Derrick Henry, not Titans Derrick Henry.
Yeah, not Titans Derrick Henry, who sucked at everything.
I don't know about that. I think he could be pretty freaking good.
I don't know. I've never seen Beastmaster Germany, so.
I got problems, boys. I don't have salary. I only got 400 for 3 people. I need a cheapie. Who's Amber M? Who's the other Amber?
Rob, did you say she's from Are You the One?
Amber M, yeah, she's from Are You the One, season 8. So it's a little bit after anybody who would be from Are You the One would have been on. And she seems pretty small. I think she's 23, I want to say. So she's a little bit on the younger side too.
So she could be involved with some scandal and some things going on, right?
Oh, no, definitely. And she's paired with Nelson to start off with too.
And she's with Nelson. How much is can I afford both of them?
You can take this stack of Big T and Joe. You can take your namesake with Big T.
Big T might be my last pick. I can't pick Big T yet. I should pick Big T's only 120.
Oh,
Big T's not gonna.
Wait, Rob, isn't there some guy from like the WWF in this?
Oh yeah, Leo Rush. He's been like with a few different wrestling departments. And then outside, I mean, there's been some like apparently, according to my co-host Trace, he had some behavioral issues with the WWE, which is why he was not.
Well, that sounds like
he's only 100.
Well, to his contributions on this show.
Yeah,
That sounds promising.
Yeah, he's $100.
His hair is great too.
Okay.
I got to take Amber M with one of mine for the salary at 110.
All right, so Amber M to Tony.
Who's Amber M's partner?
Nelson.
That's Nelson's partner.
So if I don't think. So what happens if I run out of salary for my?
Well, you
last
can take an alternate for $0.
Ooh, I can't take $0. So, because if I take Nelson, I only have 210 for my last two.
Well, no, yeah,
right? Or for my last one.
Well, let's see. 240, 170, 600.
I'm at 5. I got 290 left for two people.
Yeah, so you could go Nelson and complete the stack, and then you'd have what, 110 left for someone?
Yeah, so he could take Joseph Allen from America's Got Talent.
That sounds like a terrible pick.
I definitely don't want the
That
dude
guy's
from
not
America's
even
Got
on
Talent.
not even on our pricing board.
Really?
Is he Mayo alternate 2 or so? Oh no, never mind. Joseph is there. Never mind. My bad.
Oh,
He's a big team partner.
Who are these alternates that you were? You
Well,
gave me
we
that
had a
document and it said
trades
male
from-
alternate or something alternate. What's going on there?
Well, for two things. So one, Jenny and Mark Jansen were flown to location, but then I guess they were sent back before filming started. So there were some people who thought they might come back in like a mercenary role or something. I don't know. But then also, just people have complained beforehand that we don't bake in alternates in case they're brought in if somebody leaves.
I mean, if you pick an alternate, that is the ultimate, hey, I've looked at spoilers move.
Probably. I don't know.
If you pick the alternate. Whatever. Give me Big T. I'll take my name. I don't want to take her, but I need the salary. Give me Big T.
Big T's, you have the ultimate, like, let's go root for these people team. You have CT, Kyle, Leroy, and Big T. Like, just, you have
I literally do have. I didn't want to pick anyone I didn't like. Was my. I wanted. If I could have got Amber with that last pick, I'd have been happy.
Let's see, 200.
Man, Big T had to be the worst pick, though. I just need the salary.
She's on screen a decent amount.
She's going to be out right away, though. She's terrible.
Well, I mean, this makes it pretty easy. I was able to wait till the 5th round to get the guy I almost took with the 2nd pick overall, so I will take Darrell for $220. Paul.
Coming back to me.
Golden Gloves boxer.
I think I got 690 spent, if my math is correct right
2,
now.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 690.
All right, let's.
I should have put in a summation on the Google sheet. I apologize.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Way to not be good at Excel.
What we got going?
So we got someone named Michi. Who's Michi?
He is from X on the Beach.
No, ass.
Yeah,
I said
anybody from X on the Beach.
Who's Liv?
Like, no chance.
Liv is with Liv, that's interesting. She's actually was on Big T's season of Shipwrecked, so there's some connection there. And she's 21 too, so she's super young.
And I gotta say, just looking at the site that I'm looking at, stopbeingpolite.com, which has the cast pictures. This Gabby Allen girl, like a provocative photo. She looks like she's down to hook up, and she was on Love Island.
Yeah, she was from Love Island. I actually like Gabby this season.
And Joseph Allen looks like a real nice guy, but he's from America's Got Talent / rapper. A big hard pass on Joseph Allen.
He's the only person smiling in the cast photo too. Look behind Tony.
So yeah, so I got 690. So I've got.
So Leo's the wrestler. You're taking Nisa, Paul. You know Anissa's going to be there till the end and get eliminated before the finals.
Stop. Never.
Anissa.
I'm just I can't double dip on that team. I already have Fessy on my team, and
Stack him up.
we got the plan here is hopefully he sheds his responsibility to carrying that team.
Like we haven't even touched on the Nicole Z Devon team.
The guy looks too jacked. I'm gonna have to take this Nom character.
All right, Nom.
Nom.
I mean, Rob, you can't just take everyone in the cast.
I know, but I have to keep adjusting what I'm up to because Leroy got taken from me. That was the third leg of my strategy.
So 12-pack Nom goes to Paul's team at $150. So Rob, your final 2 picks back to back.
Ugh. Hey Tony, I'll give you some salary relief if you trade me Leroy for Jay.
Who the fuck would want Jay?
Nobody wants Jay, Rob. We go over this every season.
Well, he said he
Besides
wants
Lolo,
Survivor.
Jay.
Maybe he's in on Jay.
Jay is definitely my least favorite dude. Like him and Lolo are my least favorites.
He had a good run last year, like winning like 4 eliminations.
He won
in a
2
row.
eliminations, and he still got thrown in because everyone knew he was the layup. Because he's like,
He's
he's basically the modern Kahutta.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's terrible.
Good call. But he's on TV a lot too. Like, he was
Yeah,
always on.
and he'll last like
because
3
he was
episodes.
they were throwing him in every single week.
That's what they're gonna do to Lolo too.
Yeah, but Lolo's actually going to win. And they
He
won't.
won too.
Yeah, he won 2 against like abs. I mean, he beat CT in a weird thing, and then he beat some guy who we'll never see again.
Huh? Maybe Lolo loses in the weird thing. She only wins 1. Oh God. I'll take Gabby at $100. And then how much do I have left? I should have.
No, I'm trying to calculate.
2, 3,
well
4,
right now.
5, 6, 7, 8, 840. You have 160 left.
I thought I should get a decent amount of money left.
All right.
God, three solid picks are 180, right above how much I have left, and you got 160.
No, that's what I was looking at too.
I got 190 left, so I can take whoever I want.
You got all those good options left that we can't pick.
I know. Nelson at 180 looks very tempting.
It's killing me not to be able to pick him. That's why when you said salary relief, I was in until you said Jay, and then I was.
Well,
like,
I don't have anybody else to offer unless you want Teresa.
I don't even know who Teresa is.
She's
You don't
TJ,
remember Teresa? I love Teresa.
TJ Jones's wife.
I don't know who TJ Jones is.
He played for the Lions.
You probably played him on a showdown contest.
Yeah, he
at
played at
some
Notre Dame. He was on the Lions.
Let me look at this dude.
He was on like the Giants practice squad earlier this year too.
Yeah, TJ Jones. Yeah,
Oh
he
God.
definitely looks like a showdown dude, like a number 3, 4 receiver.
Yeah.
Notre Dame too. I'll take Leo, I guess. Hopefully he mixes it up.
Leo the wrestler.
Yeah.
All right, so Leo is gone. That's your team. Rob will recap it here in a second. Paul, your last pick.
Man, this middle range really got sucked dry.
I have salary relief. I will trade you someone for Josh.
Oh, fuck off. No, I mean, it doesn't really get me anywhere. All right, let's go bargain basement hunting here. Oh God, ew. Am I gonna do this?
Do it. Take Joseph the rapper. Take Devin. Devin sucks. You take him on your team.
I'm not taking
Devin
Devin.
is the worst.
Devin's on TV a decent amount.
No, yeah, but Devin, I listen, Rob, this is for fun. And we want to root for our teams to win. There's no chance I'm rooting for Devin.
I think Devin's fine.
Devin's such a scrub.
Anissa's signed up with who?
Fessy.
Well,
You're stacking out. You're taking Anissa?
I have to.
Oh, yeah.
Man,
Here we go.
that whole lower range is completely like Nani's gone. I'm not playing Devin. I took Nam already. Jay, I mean, I wasn't going to draft him. Teresa, I could have actually afforded, but she was already taken. And then we get down to Anissa. Like, I'm kind of rocking a hard place. At least there's some correlation there. Go Anissa. Not an on-brand pick for me usually, but roll with the punches, I guess. I'm not trading you, Josh. Are you crazy? That's the best value play on the board.
Yeah, I thought that Nani and Josh were the 2 best values with the way that Rob set up the scoring. So for me, I can actually afford anyone who is left. I have $190 remaining, so I can get up to Tori if I want to take her. And I have Corey, who's her partner. But Rob, I got bad
I know
vibes.
you want Kyle. You want Kyle from me.
I
I need salary. I need a trade. I can't be. I don't like any of these cheapies.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have what, 170 left? Or
Yeah, you can.
Or do you have 110 left?
I have 170 left, but all the good people are 180 or 190.
No, saying that's true.
You can give me anybody that's one. So Kyle's 170. Anybody 160 or lower, I'll take it. Anybody that's not low.
You could give him Amber B.
Yeah, my big brother.
I'll trade you Corey for Leroy.
Corey. How much?
I'll give you Teresa for Leroy.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't even know who Teresa is.
Why do you guys all want Leroy?
Man.
Bananas
Teresa-
isn't on the season.
that's what I'm saying. Bananas isn't on the season. That's good for Leroy.
No, I think Bananas
Corey for-
carries
No, Bananas just puts him.
Leroy
That
every
was way
season.
better with no Johnny.
But Bananas
So
puts
for
Corey for Leroy. That will give you an extra $20 of salary.
God, I like Leroy, but yeah, I need the 20, so I'll do it.
All right, we're swapping. I get Leroy. You get
God, I liked Leroy too. I felt good about him.
So you get Corey, I get Leroy. So that brings me down, and that drops me into that 170 range, which is where you were at.
Now you only got 170. That's the bad range.
That's okay. I was going to take Nelson with that pick anyway, and that gets me out of that Casey spot. So that leaves me with either Joseph, Michi, or Liv.
Or Devin.
Woof.
Or Devin. Yeah, I'm not going to take Devin. So I got to figure out, is it going to be Michi or Liv? I got to see what these people look like first.
Why don't you take the professional wrestler who's a psychopath?
No, Rob already took him.
Rob already took him.
So who is Michi, Rob? Can you explain to me who
He's
this guy
X
is?
on the beach. He seems a little bit
that's bad.
smaller too.
Bad. That would be bad. X on the.
Yeah.
When's the last time somebody X on the beach in their rookie season actually did anything?
Devin and Cheyenne, because they were absolute like jabronis.
No, that's Are You the One?
Yeah.
X on the Beach is like
Oh
I
yeah.
think from X on the Beach. Rogan's from X on the Beach.
True. Sorry, my bad. It's Are You the One? Are You the One? Scrubs never do
That's
anything.
Amber M's territory.
Yeah. Michi Harris. He's described as X on the Beach 3 / something to do with Black China. He has an impressive amount of gold neck chains.
Is it X on the Beach, America, or the British one?
I believe it is the American one.
Oh, that's worse. The British one's pretty good.
Yeah, the British one's like
The British one we get good. We get
like
new,
Scotty
good,
T.
Yeah, exactly. We get good new contestants from there.
And who was the other one? Liv? I might just take her.
Liv is a shipwreck. That's Big T's friend.
She doesn't look like she's a great competitor. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's where Bear got his catapult into the space from Shipwrecked, I believe.
Man, what a terrible trade for me. Now I'm going to have to end up taking fucking Devin. No.
That's what I was telling you. It was tough getting in that range.
Yeah, that's a bad.
You don't want to be in that. Why do you think I drafted Anissa?
Strategic mistake from me here.
Yeah,
not looking at how much salary I had left. Let me re-add this up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At 170. I'll take Liv at $100.
Liv.
Olivia from Shipwreck UK. By the way, so that leaves one last pick for you, Tony. But you took Paul took Natalie A. Rob, do you get like Abyss vibes from Natalie A?
She is a beast.
Like from like Gauntlet 2 Abyss?
Yeah, the one who like won them the challenge because she won the eating portion.
She looks jacked.
Dude, she's like a CrossFit like maniac too.
She's a beast.
Yeah, she's really good. I think that's the best team of these initial ones. I think West Natalie's the best team.
All right, Tony, who you going with your last pick?
So it's either Casey or Nelson. I gotta get me a big brother. She sucks at scoring though, right?
You could get Nicole Z at 180. She's a good competitor.
She's a good, and she's always mixing it up too.
Yeah, I gotta take through. That's why I'm mad I got rid of Leroy, but I just didn't like anybody. I'll take Casey to finish my team out.
Casey
Right.
at $180. All right. So Tony, your team is team captain CT, Kyle, Corey now, Amber, Big T, and Casey. I have Lolo Jones as my captain, along with Nani, Leroy now after the trade, Amber B, Darrell, and Olivia from Shipwreck UK. Paul, you got a team here, man. Smashley as the team captain, Fessy,
Athletes and psychopaths. That was
Natalie,
my strategy.
Josh, Nam, and Anissa. Rob, you ended up with Wes, Cam, Teresa, Jay, Gabby, and Leo. Your team is last place, pal.
Oh, we'll see what happens.
I definitely think his team's last place too.
Yeah, it's a bad team.
Yeah, but he's looked at the spoilers.
Yeah, he's looked at
guys. We're-
spoilers. So.
He's gonna end up in first place.
That is the looking at spoilers. Rob would be the only way your team could be first place.
How do you what gives you that claim? I think Wes and Cam could easily be the top two scoring players for the men and the women.
I like those two.
Wes has a better chance of being out in the first 3 episodes than winning this season.
Well, what will cause the heel turn on Wes for you? I think he's always put himself in a very good spot here.
I just don't think he's physically up to the task here.
I don't know. I don't buy that really. I think he's performed exceptionally well each of the past 3 seasons. I mean, he had the bad thing against Bear, but he's also really sick that elimination.
Oh, I like how every time that you have a claim, it's like an editing problem or there's some sort of baked-in excuse for like everyone you like.
Yeah, you sound
I mean, if I'm gonna have a claim, I'm gonna have reasons why I have that claim.
You sound like Cust making excuses for Sam Darnold here, pal.
I mean, but Wes has also been good. It's not like Sam Darnold sucks. He's never been good. Wes has been very good since he's been back.
So the undrafteds this time around, no one takes Nelson at 180.
Yeah,
I like Nelson too a little bit. I wish I could have got him. I don't mind Nelson.
I like Nelson too. He's good drama and he's funny.
Yeah.
No one took Michi at 100. No one took the team of Nicole Z or Devin. Are they the two? Is that the most unlikable team of all time?
I have to dive back into the history book, see who's the most unlikable team ever.
Those are two pretty unlikable people.
Who's Devin with?
Nicole Z.
I think that's actually a pretty good team, honestly. Like, I think they have a very complementary skill sets.
I think that, I mean, they could both be, like, that team could be relatively competitive, but, like, who wants to root for either one of those two?
I wish I took. I messed up my whole draft taking Big T. I should have taken this Michi over him, and then I would have had 20 salary, and I would have still had my boy Leroy. Jack, I messed up taking Big T. I let the name get me.
Yeah, all you had to do was leave one. I mean, it could have been Big T. I ended up with Olivia. You could have just taken her.
What are the chances the undrafted team ends up scoring more than any of our four teams?
Well,
Zero.
it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Matt Best, you're back here right now. Do you want the leftover team of the 6 people?
We can even spot points because that team is not winning.
All right, so Matt Best is in the background here. Producer Matt Best. Matt, you're going to have the team of Michi, Nicole Z, Devin, Tori, Nelson, and Joseph. That team's actually not terrible.
Well, he still goes over the salary cap because all that's left are these expensive people.
Let's see, 180. No, I don't think it goes over the salary cap because there's a $110 and $100 player on that team.
Yeah, we'll give him some alternates.
Yeah, he'll actually be okay.
That team is definitely finishing last.
And it might be better than Rob's team, to be perfectly
I don't
honest.
see we'll see about West this season. I'll take a West versus CT bet with you easily.
All right, let's bet. Let's bet it right now. I will take CT.
CT's winning. I want that bet.
Yeah.
CT's my troop. I want that bet.
Rob, you can bet it with all of us. $1,000.
All right, fine. West versus CT.
He's got the spoilers. He snap called.
That is true.
That was a
I
snap
don't
call.
want
You see
any
how quick he
action
called?
on that.
Wow.
I'll take West versus CT straight up fantasy points versus whoever wants action.
Can you please explain your fascination
Yes, I
with
want
Jay
action
every
for
season,
fun
though?
on that.
Yeah,
I mean, he's only been on 2. I didn't have him last season.
If just fantasy points in this thing, I want that. I want CT because I want action.
I'll take West versus CT fantasy points easily.
For how much?
Rob's a broke student, so don't milk him, Tony.
No, for whatever. Yeah, he can pick whatever. I mean,
$50.
yeah. $50.
Can I get in on that $50 too, Rob?
Sure.
Yeah, here we go. I like this a lot. I hope
So
Wes.
we got CT, you got West for fantasy points.
I hope Wes quits the first episode.
You know, you guys are making a bet with the guy who tabulates the fantasy points, by the way.
Oh, please. I'm a very honest tabulator. There's no chicanery going
Yeah,
on.
saying,
hopefully
I'll sit this
Rob
one
isn't
out.
like the guy that does the fight metric stuff for MMA DraftKings.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I'm excited for this season. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I am too. I think this is going to be a good season. I think hopefully they've learned their lesson a little bit with the past 2 where the formats have gotten a little bit too odd and that they know what they're doing this time around.
Maybe we'll do this. We'll leave it with this. Tony, one thing that you think is missing from this season, one person you think is missing from this season that you would like to see on.
One person, I'm trying to think who. I mean, I always like Bananas because I like Bananas and CT, but honestly, I was hoping Bananas and Morgan would be on together because they haven't been on since that when they met on that first season. I've always liked Morgan, so I was hoping they were on. I don't know off the top of my head who else I thought would be on.
Rob, who do you think? I'm good. Listen, I love Bananas, but I'm good with the season off from Bananas. It's been a while. Who would you have on here?
I think with this format too, I think Paulie could actually be pretty entertaining. We haven't really seen him put in that many adverse positions. Like he's been put in spots where he's been able to kind of take control. I'd like to see him work in more of an underdog role for one time. Hunter would also be somebody I'd love to see on. I just think he actually brings a lot of storylines with him to see him with Corey and Nelson. And then, I honestly really like this cast. I think the best cast, honestly, are when we get interesting new people, but then also with a few people we haven't seen in a while, like Darrell or Teresa.
Yeah, I could have used more people that we haven't seen in a while. Paul, like we're missing Bear. We're missing Bear here.
Bear
There's
is
a
just
reason why
100% entertainment all the time. Bear and Georgia, because she just looks like fire.
Yeah,
I
you-
see her on
always liked
Instagram. I
Georgia.
see her on Instagram
Yeah.
right now, looking good.
Yeah, if you go search Georgia's Instagram right now, like she got some work done and she looks great. She looked great anyway. But now she looks like top fire, 10 out of 10 for Georgia.
Why was Bear not on? He was like a staple lately.
There's a decent reason why Bear's not on.
Okay. Can we get Scotty T on the show? Isn't he broke, Rob? Like, couldn't he use the
Well, he was
cash?
supposed to fight Bear, remember, in Fame MMA? And he
Yeah.
backed out.
Yeah, that's okay. Get him on the challenge. We need Scotty T and his Turbo D. That guy's great. All the birds want to fuck Scotty T. He'd be so good
They're
on this
actually trying
show.
to win away from the British people this season because the only returning Brit is Kyle, who's been on every season since he came on Vendettas. And then it's like Liv and Gabby are the only other two.
Really? Yeah, that's kind of surprising. I wonder why they're
Maybe-
getting away from all the Brits.
You know, maybe it was just harder to bring them in.
Do you think Kara's done on the show?
I think she could be done.
Why do
Really?
you think she's done?
I think people just got sick of her.
I mean, Paulie, I would really like to see back. I think
Mhm.
Paulie's a unique cast member. I think he'd be very entertaining.
I
bet
agree.
they put him on there with his brother. Wait till that, because the dude that
Yeah,
just
when
won
Cody
Big
comes
Brother.
up.
Put him on there with Cody.
He has a brother?
He just won
His
Big
brother
Brother.
won
His
Big Brother.
brother.
Okay. I mean,
this most recent season.
I like Paulie. I like Paulie enough that I think he's good TV. I would almost like having Tori without Jordan and some of these other people, or Leroy without Bananas. I just prefer to see Paulie without Kara on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing with Kara, so apparently her and Paulie were complaining about the ratings a lot I don't know. There's some weird stuff with them complaining about the ratings, and then there were some other off-screen things too. So I think it could be a little bit before we see either of them again. And Paulie, like I said, he's apparently training for the bobsledding team now, so he's got busy.
You know who I am missing, but I'm just going to be happy when he comes back in like 2 seasons, is Jordan. I love Jordan. So
I like Jordan too.
I like him more in his earlier seasons actually than his past few.
The one where him and Tori were going against everyone. I loved them in that season. What was that, 2 seasons ago?
That was War of the Worlds too. I did not like how they edited that season at all.
you got a lot of problems with this editing for someone who doesn't know how to edit anything.
Well, I edit some things.
Do you? Have you ever edited TV like Paul and I have?
Not TV, no.
So you got a lot of real hot takes on how this editing works.
Well, how the story was portrayed then I had some issues with.
Maybe that's just what happened.
Well, but like the entire season, we just all saw all these clips of Nani and Josh complaining about everything. There's nothing else interesting going on. That was the entire season.
I mean, for
That's
the sake,
all Josh does is just complain about.
Well, why do we need so much Josh then?
Everything.
So somebody else.
Because he's probably hanging out with the producers at all times, being like, "Give me screen time."
it seems
That's why he's on my team.
Yeah, the weird thing about Josh, although he seems wildly unlikable as a TV character, it seems like in real life everyone likes him.
No, he seems pretty good friends with a lot of the cast. Like even he and Wes, with their rivalry, non-rivalry on the show, they're actually on decent terms outside of it.
Yeah, well, Wes had to make up. Wes couldn't engage with that in case, just on an off chance, there's a Rivals 4, and then he would get stuck with Josh, which he would not want.
Yeah, that's why he just keep throwing in Jordan constantly. Then I'll get with Jordan instead of Josh.
See, that's a smart move. Wes is a smart guy. It's just I think physically he might be past his prime here.
I just don't think this cast is that physically imposing. Like, are you really saying Wes has like no shot if he's in an elimination against a lot of?
Essie and CT are monsters.
He
Yeah,
lost.
but
to,
CT,
he
like,
lost
if
to
it's any
Bear.
endurance space with CT,
I don't know. Did you look at that picture of CT? It looks like he's down like 25 pounds.
I'm sorry that I don't project out somebody's finals running ability based on their jawline. I don't know how predictive of a metric that is.
I don't
Look
know.
at that. That's a winner right there. That's what winners look like.
Edited photo.
He looks in shape. I
Yeah,
need
man.
to check. What's he look like right now?
If he's in shape, he's gonna win.
If they edited, because you're an expert on editing. If they edited CT's photo, why didn't they do the same thing for Wes?
Maybe they're trying to lead you astray, Paul.
They couldn't give Wes a hairline.
I have fallen. I fell victim to that a couple years ago. I drafted Wes thinking he looked really good in the teaser, and
he was gone.
He was gone. He sucked.
Yeah, that's
I just pulled up this picture of CT. He's fat. I'm dying laughing.
Even
I
like
don't
at
know if
his
it's
peak, he
current.
wasn't good in finals.
What?
Well, even like at CT's peak, he's only really had one good performance in a final on Rivals 2.
I mean,
'Cause, like,
he won.
on
Like he's won the finals he's been to. I think he's won 3 of the past 4 finals he's been to.
Okay, well, the War of the Worlds 2 is a team final. So how could it be that?
Well, now come the excuses. Oh no, I'm wrong. So here's
Well,
why
I have
I'm wrong
reasons
though.
for why I say things. I don't just say things and not back them up.
Yeah, but you're just wrong. You're just making excuses
I
for
don't-
why
that's
you're
not
wrong.
Incorrect. It was a team's final. Like it was a 50% chance of winning.
There wasn't a 50% chance of winning because people got cut from these teams.
That's actually a fair point. But for his team, it was a little bit higher than 50. It was higher than like at least for the other team because only one of them got cut.
Okay, so if he was on the losing team, he wouldn't have won. Good point.
No, but I'm saying like it was not that strenuous of a situation as in it was less than 50%, but not significantly.
Yes, Paul?
I was just stretching.
Oh, I thought you were raising your hand. All right.
For me.
I think this was good. I think I had a lot of fun. I'm excited for the show. If people want to play in the fantasy league against all of us, we'll be in there with different teams, obviously, because we can actually take anyone we want in this circumstance. I probably won't end up with Darrell and Liv on that team. I'll probably end up with a CT and a low stack and then play my scrubs down at the bottom. But you can join with the link in the description of this video and podcast. Completely free to play. Share it around with everyone. Hopefully you enjoy the show. Subscribe to Rob's podcast with somehow we ended up with Tony on the show, who goes by Big T. There's a Big T on the show, and Rob, your co-host, nickname is also Big T.
That is correct. A lot of Big T to go around.
Did he also have to take Big T in your guys' draft?
Well, I actually texted Devin halfway through the draft telling him don't take Big T, so Trace ends up with him.
So Rob, Trace, and Devin are going to have the audio podcast version of the recap show. Plus, they've reviewed a whole bunch of the old seasons if you want to go back. I think they're all in where you're at, Rob. They're all on CBS All Access, right?
Most of them are on CBS All Access. There's a few that aren't, and there's actually a few that came to Netflix recently.
Oh, which ones are on Netflix?
The Duel and Inferno 2 are on Netflix. The Duel is on both. Inferno 2 is only on Netflix. And then Inferno 3 is not on CBS All Access. There's a few seasons that have kind of been hopping back and forth on or off. And then nothing before Gauntlet 2 is on CBS All Access as of now.
I mean, even if you go to Netflix and watch Duel 2 and Inferno, or Duel 1 and Inferno 2, those are 2 great seasons.
Great setup there. A lot of CT.
A lot of CT in there. I mean, the Duel 1 is but you guys have reviewed all of these seasons episode by episode. So the Challenge Chronicles, wherever you download podcasts, and you can check out the Challenge Chronicles recap show on YouTube on Mayo Media Network. So subscribe to that right now. Tony, what do you got going on? You doing some like Survivor pools, anything like that when other shows come back?
No, I mean, we did a bunch of the Big Brother stuff, but I don't do as much for Survivor. I like Big Brother that it's live, so there's no spoilers. I hate getting those pools going for money when there's spoilers out there that people look at. And Big Brother, the nice thing is it's live, so you can't really cheat with it.
I suppose that's true. That's why we don't do this one for money. Maybe we'll give away some prizes or something like that for some of the winners. Maybe. We'll see. But
prizes is perfect anyway. Like the minute you say all of a sudden, even if it's like $1,000, you know people are going to cheat.
Yeah, like I don't understand why someone for something that has no gain, like if it's a prize or something like that, like a hat or something, I could see for money why people would go spoil themselves, even if it was a very small amount of money comparatively to something like huge you could win. But if this is something you enjoy, why would you go ruin it for yourself?
They love to know what's happening, and then they drop hints all season too, and the Twitter and stuff. They love that. They love that aspect of spoiling it for us.
I don't like that.
Not everyone has your self-control pad, apparently. Some people lack the discipline to go through the season unspoiled.
It's the worst too. Like when you're on Twitter and you stumble across something you didn't want to see. Like
I don't go on Twitter while the seasons are filming, or I go on
the whole season. How do you not ever stumble across it? How do you not ever stumble across it? You just don't go on Twitter at all during the season?
I'll go on Twitter. I'll unfollow any challenge adjacent type stuff.
That's the key.
And then I'll mute challenge 36. I'll be pretty clean. And then the challenge Reddit actually does an exceptional job of purging out any spoilers. So I've never had any issues there.
Yeah, I actually, when I go on the challenge Reddit, it is very clear. It says spoilers in this one. Do not click if you don't want to know spoilers. And they do.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, it's actually, I've never actually stumbled across a spoiler on challenge Reddit.
Yeah, I actually listened to a really interesting podcast with a producer on the show recently. I forget what was from. I can almost pull that up on my phone now. But she was saying that apparently for next season, they're going to really try to lock down on spoilers. We'll see if that comes down. But
that's going to be tough to do.
Yeah.
There's just too many people involved.
Well, but Survivor's able to do it where spoilers don't really leak.
Not as much, yeah. I mean, there's still some out there, I think, but yeah, not as much.
Maybe they're more ironclad country. They're also in like somewhere like, despite the fact that the challenge is in like Iceland this year, like isn't Survivor in like a completely remote location? Like you can really hammer down on who's there and who's not.
Yeah, they've been filming in Fiji the past few seasons, so I think for them it's an easier. They also just have more like they're CBS instead of MTV. I mean, MTV's put a ton of money into the challenge.
I mean,
but
it's the same company. They're both owned by Viacom.
No, I know, but there's like my co-host has come up with this comparison before where CBS is like the NFL or the NBA and the challenge is like the WWE in terms of like how organized the structure of the whole thing is. So I think hopefully in the future MTV will lock down a little bit more. But I think
would be so fun if there was just literally no way that anything could come out and you just knew it. I wish they could do it live. I was talking earlier about that.
Yeah, that would be.
Obviously
If they could figure out a way to do it live,
You couldn't.
They like to pick out their narratives so much that I don't know if they would ever switch to live. But if they could do live, we could do like DraftKings and like betting on the challenge.
It would be awesome. Like I don't know how they would. Maybe they just give them money to like put them somewhere for 6 months or something while they're setting it all up. Or
These
something.
challenges take too long for them to do it live.
Yeah, like
That's
some of
the
these
problem.
challenges last like 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's a good point too. But imagine if we were like live betting like the Laurel Ninja elimination from World of Worlds 2 or the Hunter Smashy one from World of Worlds 1. That would be incredible.
Yeah, it would be awesome. Like they don't have to show the whole thing live. Like they can do it a lot like Big Brother, where there's one live episode a week.
Yeah, but now we're getting to the point where there's too much challenge. I don't want too much challenge. I really appreciate that they leave me wanting more most of the time. That's a huge people don't. I mean, the Pat Mayo experience does not abide by this at all. But leaving them wanting more generally goes a long way to keeping people engaged. Like it's why I gave up on some shows. It's just too much. Like I'm going to be all in or I'm going to be all out. And I've decided I'm just all out. I don't have 5.5 hours to dedicate to something I barely care about.
Yeah, I hear you.
College football, same way for me. Hockey, same way
College
for me.
hoops is even more so. There's even today. There's a million different games. It's tough.
Yeah, so either you need to be focusing for 12 hours or just don't pay attention to it. It feels like it's one or the other.
It can be like an extra though. Just have like a live segment that just goes online.
Maybe you do like a live like recap show with some of the people. I don't know. I like that.
Those go very poorly.
Oh yeah, well I mean that's not true because we have the Rivals 2 reunion live, which was
for them.
which is the single best reunion show of all time.
Oh dude, I watched that way too much. I watch it like once a month.
I tried to watch it with my wife like 2 weeks ago and it was too cringy and we had to stop. She couldn't take like how like upsetting it was.
Dude, I don't know if there's like a moment on the show that makes me laugh more than after Knight punches Frank and then security is carrying Knight off stage and Johnny Mosley asks anybody else have questions for Knight or Frank as it's being pulled off stage by security?
I thought there's a point of that reunion where it looks like CT is going to strangle Johnny Mosley to death. And Johnny Mosley looks legitimately terrified.
He's still on TV too. He's doing like Olympic qualifiers for skiing and stuff.
Well, yeah, he was an Olympian for skiing. That makes more sense. Like the guy was not made for the challenge. High comedy for sure. TJ does a much better job.
Yeah, I mean, I guess these Olympic skiers aren't as hard to control as CT might be.
All right, that will do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. Tony, where can everyone follow you and your work?
So at Run Pure Sports for like the DFS side, and then just on Twitter at Big T44 DFS.
And you don't look like Kenny Powers, which is just stunning to me.
I wish I did. I mean, as many times as I send that GIF out.
Rob, where can everyone follow you and check out all of your challenge work?
Yeah, so if you search the Challenge Chronicles on pretty much any podcast platform, it's like iTunes Podcast, Spotify, you'll find us there. I'm on Twitter at RobMCI16. That's at ROBMCI16. And then if you go to the fantasizer.com website that we'll have in the link, you'll find the game there.
All right, cool. I'm Pat Mayo. You can follow me at the PME, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Paul Shanghnessy behind the camera at Paul Shag. You want to follow the best of Matt, too, with his hot fire team here with team captain Michi. Or maybe we'll give you someone good as a team captain, Matt. I don't know. To compete. Better than Rob's team anyway. So you can follow all of us. Subscribe to the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast. You can subscribe to Mayo Media Network YouTube channel, and you'll have the challenge recaps from the Challenge Chronicles gang. I'll throw that link in the description, too, if you're looking for that audio podcast. So thank you all for watching. Play in the Pat Mayo Experience Challenge Fantasy League. Link is in the description. Completely free to play. Keep it spoiler-free, please, and just enjoy it, all right? I'm Pat Mayo. I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience. experience.